Hello, leaders. Welcome to Beyond the Ballot podcast. I know you've been hoping, you've been desiring to sit side by side with great leaders who have led in a way you admire. And that's why you are here. That's why your ears are itching to hear from them. And here, we are here to bring to you great leaders who have the results you desire, to learn from them, and so that they will share their experience with you firsthand, and so you can get all that results, use it to create a desirable impact you want to as a leader. So join us on this podcast where we learn nothing short of excellent way of leading, especially in politics and governance. Thank you.
Victor Adebayo Ogungbe is a passionate youth mentor, leadership advocate, and licensed registered nurse dedicated to shaping the next generation of visionary leaders. He is the founder of Next Gen Leadership Institute, an NGO committed to raising young leaders with purpose to build a healthier nation. Driven by a deep passion for service, Victor has held significant roles since his youth, serving as head boy in secondary school, and later rising from SUG Vice President to SUG President at the Oyo State College of Nursing and Midwifery. He firmly believes true leadership begins with character. Alongside his clinical background and health outreach work, Victor was a delegate at the 2025 NNC Cork Global Health Conference in the UK. He continues to inspire youths to become impactful global citizens.
To you, to the clip community, and of course to every young people that will come across this session. So I don't take it for granted, because I feel every opportunity I have to lend my voice is opportunity to influence the world, the nation, the young people. I don't take any of those opportunities for granted. People have to hear, they have to keep hearing. When they hear, will transform them and will change their mindsets. So thank you, Ore, for inviting me. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. All right, sir. So the first question I will ask is, what's your definition of leadership? There have been different definition of leadership by different people. Jackson Maxwell will even give he gave the shortest definition of leadership, saying that leadership is influence, nothing less, nothing more. So what's your own definition of leadership, the subject of leadership? All right, sir.
So, Victor Ogungbe, I'm presently the next team lead and visionary of Next Gen Leadership Institute, right? An institute committed to raising responsible global citizen and visionary leaders. And I'm of the opinion that we are leaders of today, not of tomorrow any longer, because we can never see tomorrow. And that's what we do. We go to schools, introduce them to this concept of leadership as early as possible. And by the virtue of grace and the help of God, I've served in several leadership positions, right? I've, of course, since primary school, I've been serving, and secondary school, I was the head boy. And when I entered the College of Nursing Science, I served as the SCG Vice President, then SCG President. Until now, we are still serving, because, of course, service is something that I feel we should continually do, right? And thank you again for inviting me. And I'm also a registered nurse, so but I'm not practicing. Wow. But I am a registered nurse, actually. So when it comes to leadership, like you said, there have been several definitions about leadership. And growing up, there's a mindset that people have about leadership. It's just that that's the person at the forefront, that's the person doing this, and that's the person holding a title or leading at the front. But of course, thank God for, a lot of great minds that shed light into this subject matter. And like you rightly said, many people are of the opinion that leadership is about influence, getting someone to do something, or influencing a group of people to achieve a goal. And that is absolutely true. But if we are to look deeper into that subject matter, of course, leadership to me is service. And service is actually an action word. An action word in a way that you are influencing people, influencing system, influencing our territory, process, nation, to ensure that you are working towards a certain positive goals, and of course to make a change wherever you are, wherever you find yourself, and to just raise people with that mindset also. Because of course, when it comes to leadership, there is ability to also raise others. There is a mandate to not just be the only one with that mindset, and to ensure that as much as possible you instill in them with a mindset of service. I mean, I'm adding on that word service because it is actually about service. And I don't know if we still go more deeper into that. But when it comes to service, right, that is actually the core of leadership. So we are not going there. We are not saying I want to do this, I want to do that to be seen. I actually want to serve and give myself to service just to make a change. Whether I'm paid for it, whether I'm recognized or not, I am doing that just to effect a change in my territory, in my nation, in my society, in every aspect of life, and just to ensure that the society gets better at the end of the day.
Wow. That's great. That's very great word you've shared there. You said something. You said you were the vice president. I never knew you were the vice president. Honestly, I felt, for about few years now. I have known you, and then you were our head boy then, and you've taken some action then. Even then, before I come to realize the importance of leadership, you've taken some weird, yes, I would say weird response to things that I'll be like, so I felt, there's this philosophy I have about leadership, that everyone is a leader, one, and those people who live that life of leadership, they what differentiate them, people who live that and those people who are not living that, is awareness. So this is the question I want to ask you. What stage or what points in your life do you realize that you are a leader, or you were given birth to and you are a leader? Well, because you've taken some weird step, even when I did not, I'll be like, "Come on." So what stage in your life do you realize, or do you come to the awareness that you are a leader?
Well, God bless you. Thank you. And like you rightly said, is awareness. In fact, I think awareness drives most of your actions. Some people don't know that they have the potential in them until they are aware. And it is killing a lot of potential. It is killing a lot of capacity that they are within them. Now, against popular opinion, many people will say that if you are the firstborn, you will have been leading. In my own case, I'm even the lastborn. Now, I'm the lastborn of four men, not even 4 boys. Now, if I was having ladies, I might have even been taking some responsibilities. But I'm even the lastborn of, 4 men, because my immediate brother, actually senior me with around about 7 years.
Wow.
So I didn't even really have I didn't have the avenue to take that leadership position right from, while growing up. But this is it. I think whenever I find myself in a circle, I used to be like the eldest in that circle. I don't know how it happened, but when I was in children's class, I was literally one of the eldest children, right? That to an extent, they assumed automatically, they didn't give me the position, but automatically people started calling me children presidents. And because I was a little bit sad in Bible, right? I represented my church in Bible quiz and Bible sword. And when I entered secondary school, just one precisely, I was like the eldest too. Of course, there are some guys that were older than me. I was in boarding school. But my circle, I was the eldest in my circle. So, and a little bit I was brilliant. And when their parents come, after we get our results, some of them, they get some quite poor results. And my result, in fact, I don't usually have D7. I believe D7 was a failure. Was a fail, right? Then, so my worst results probably maybe C5, C4 then. And the parents will check, and so as they're going and when they are coming back the second term, our parents will come and pick us after school. After the term, at the end of the term. And when they bring them back, they will just literally hand them over to me. Victor, please help me train this guy. We assess me though. They will just hand them over to me. Help me look after them. When you are reading, please ensure they read. And honestly speaking, I enjoy doing those things. I enjoy, and I see myself like trying to make sure that you get better all around. I was not even having the mindset of, let me assume this position. I was not having any mindset of, taking a post or something. I was just doing what I think I love doing, just to impact life, influence life, make sure you get better. And now this is another definition of leadership I want you to get. And from biblical example, one of the people that demonstrated ideal leadership to us in scripture was Moses. And what did Moses do? He brought people from where they were to where they should be. That's his leadership.
Yeah.
Now, you are saying, some people, they are where they are presently, but they don't know. Some people are very comfortable in that place. But it is your role as a leader to see potential in someone and midwife them, like Moses did from Egypt to Canaan land. And that was what I was doing. People, they were not doing academically then. I would just pick them up and just do something. I would just try to influence and impact them. And I kept doing that. When I got to just going to SS1, they already gave me a position in the school. So I was given, of course, chapel setting. I was given an morning devotional coordinator that will wake up everybody in the hostel as early as 5 a.m. Wow. I wake up everybody in the hostel, senior, juniors. I wake up at 5 a.m. and I was just, honestly, it was not even in my head that I'm holding a position. It was just in my mind and my head that, okay, I am influencing things, I am changing things, I'm making things better. So that was when the awareness came. And still, when it came, I was still not having the mindset to go and take a position, right? I was just, leading. And I was just influencing people, and I was just doing what I love doing. I think that was the point the awareness came. Literally, when parents just put me in charge of my friends, not even my juniors, of my friends over them, you have to look after them. That's when it dawned on me that, there's more to this.
Wow. That's interesting. That's interesting. And now I would love to ask this. There is this different level of leadership. I can't remember the author now at the moment, but they said there is this different level of leadership, and I know a few of them. They said number 1 is you leading yourself, number 2 is you leading people, and number 3 is you leading others through others. So I want to start from the leading yourself. How do you think that leading yourself, you having a personal development, that's all that's all about? Like, you having that, it's so essential for you becoming a leader. You get a question? How do you feel that, I've met people who they claim they are leaders, and I know, of course, I say everybody's a leader, but then the past aspect of leading themselves. Oh, can you hear now? Yeah. All right. So the aspect of you leading yourself. So what importance can you attach to leading yourself in personal development in the larger perspective now to leadership? So that's the question.
And that's all many people fail to understand. That a man that cannot lead himself, or that cannot discipline himself, cannot lead others. And thank God I'm speaking especially to kingdom leaders in politics, community mainly. And what you cannot do personally, you can't influence others to do it. In fact, that is hypocrisy. And that's when we see a lot of leadership gap. I posted a video on my Instagram page today that most of us will criticize leaders. We analyze leaders. We do this. But if they give us that platform too, we will make the same mistakes. Why? Because when you are not yet known, what have you been doing? Many people are so engrossed on, I want them to know me. But wait, they will know you. But discover yourself, develop yourself, and give yourself to growth. Now, considering the example I made earlier, that I said some parents of my friends will even hand over my friends to me. Why? Because they trusted me. I have a result that they can trust. And a man cannot have a result if you don't have a personal discipline, if you don't have a mindset of personal development. In fact, the result does not just come. There is something you give yourself to. Right from when I was small, I understand what is called delayed gratification, understand what is called priority, understand what is called doing the right thing at the right time. I love football a lot. In fact, there was literally nothing you can tell me when it comes to football. Watching, I was a diehard Manchester United fan, and I played. In fact, when I was in JS1, JS2, I was already playing with my seniors in SS2. So because there used to be
Wow.
a junior field, there used to be a senior field. I was playing on the senior field, but I knew when I had to play. I knew when I had to focus on my studies. Now, when it comes to growth, there must be something you are working towards in a particular time. Is it your study? Take it serious. Is it, you want to give yourself some form of personal discipline? Take it serious. There are goals I've been setting for myself since I was small until now. There are books I must read in a month. There are write-up I must read. There are videos I must watch. There are podcasts I must see. Not because of anything, not because I even want to go and teach or preach or something, but because I want to grow first. Because when you grow, it will be easy for you to bring others to that level.
Yeah.
Now, check this in the scripture. Moses, God intentionally did not want him to grow up with the Israelites, because if we have that mindset too, he has to live in the palace. The mindset has expanded. He has, there are protocols in the palace. He has learned the protocols in the palace. There are protocols of the kings and queens and princes and princesses. He learned it. Because of that, he was able to bring them out. See David, he was in the wilderness doing a form of self-development. Because sincerely, you cannot lead if you are not being led first. You must have a form of personal discipline. Bring yourself under a structured training, maybe formal or informal. Because I think God loves us at times that He will not even give you some platform until He has proven that this guy is serious and responsible, and he has worked on himself to an extent. And now, when you now work on yourself, in fact, you will just naturally find yourself leading others, because there are many people that are now looking up to you because you have a result. And once they begin to look up to you, you are already influencing people. And it gets to a point, those people, you will now lead them to an extent, you will bring them to an extent that they will share your analogy and ideology, that you will now be using people to even lead other people. I don't want to talk more about that, but I see the great ones that they are doing a clip. So that is just it.
Oh
just
my God. Yeah.
Everybody has to be followed. And there is no shortcuts to it. That's just it. There's no shortcut to it.
Yeah. I felt thank you so much, sir. When you were saying this, it's just like we aspiring leaders, or we aspiring great leaders, we always like see that as something that is not necessary, and we always see it as is the least amidst all the forms of leadership, leading yourself. But that list that we term as least is something that is the most important, because the way you lead yourself, just like when you have the steering of a car, is the kind of one of the smallest part of the car, but then when the movement of it moves all the car. So that means, as a leader, if you can move yourself right, you can lead yourself right, or you'll be able to lead others right. So that's very great, sir. That's very great. Now, so I want us to move now deeper into your political movements. So,
Honestly, okay.
I will love to. I would love to. I would love to ask this question. I when I was back then in secondary school, my greatest aspiration going to the university was to join the political leaders, student leaders and all. But I attended a meeting, I think the first week of my stepping into the campus. Then the energy there was so strong that I was like, can I maintain it? So what gave you the motivation or inspiration that you want to become the president? That's my own. I never knew that. You were even the vice president at a time. But what gave you the motivation to even join political? Probably because of this leadership of the thing that you've already or you are aware of. But then there are different platforms. There are different platforms of leadership. There are many people who are good leaders and they are not even into political space. they are more into church space, and they are good leaders there. Some are even into business place. But this political something, I felt even more, most of the best leaders we have, they are not there. They are not in that space. They get that. So I want to ask you that, what gave you the motivation to say or to take interest in that position?
Right, thank you. Thank you. Now, so I want to establish this, that most people that probably make up their mind to do something and at the end of the day they lose interest. Firstly, their motivation or their reason was not strong enough. One, probably it may even be a selfish reason. When you understand that this life is beyond you, I think I had that understanding early too. And that's why I cannot give up on some things. If it is just about me, honestly, I will not do a lot of things. But I have another perspective about life, that this life is not just about me. Now, if I don't show up for some things, I don't consider myself. I consider people that their life may be at stake by me not showing up.
Yeah.
So once you have a right motivation, a right mindset, you will keep going. And let me just give you this example. If they put only you in the house, in a big house, let's say in a 4-5 bedroom duplex, you can decide to live your life anyhow from morning to night, just playing around. You can even be naked in the house. But once they now put 2-3 people, 4-5 people with you in the house, you will have sense better. I mean, you will think better, you will reason better. Now, because it is not just about how you live your life. There are some decisions that it is not just left to you or for you to take. That is one. But for me, honestly, when I was going to the school, I was not really going with the mindset of course, there's a part of me that I'm interested in politics, but there's another part of me that is just interested in influencing and leading and serving. Now, because leadership itself is service. Leadership itself is service. Jesus said something. For the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve. That is the mindset. So I'm not giving myself, because some people now, the motivation is power. I want to be known. I want to be this. Some people, the motivation is so that I will have money, and they think there is money in politics. That's another. Okay, maybe if you can get there. So a lot of motivation, but to me, it's just to serve. Sincerely speaking, and two things about having the right mindset. There's a way having the right mindset can help, can bring the backing of God. One. There's a way having the right mindset will bring good people to you. Two, there's a way having the right mindset will keep you going, because you know that you have a good plan. Now, so when I entered, I was just being me. You get what I mean by being you? Because that is whether you have position or not. I was just being me. So my first 2-3 months in school, we did all meeting. I mean, the hostel you live. Oh, that we call it all. That's our. So first 2 months. So they wanted to pick executives, and they were just shouting, who will become the all chairman, who will become the all clinical, as the others who will become the all PR. Everybody just shouted my name. First 2 months. Now what happened? It's not that I campaigned, it's not that I did anything, but I was just being me. See a problem, solve it. That is leadership too. Like I said, leadership have a numerous sides to it. Just not have the ability to solve problems. Now, without having the mindset of gaining anything in return, just give to humanity, help others. And probably because then, if they want to wash tank in the hostel, I will volunteer to do it. If they say anything, I was just being mean. So when they nominated me, it was not really a shock to me, because why? I've been doing this thing. You don't have to attach. Attaching position will make me have the responsibility. I'm this, but without this, I am taking position. I am taking responsibility. And of course, vice president, SCG thing and all. People will even come and tell you that God gets from. Do you get this? So what? I don't want to rush. I don't want to be above myself. So the motivation to me was just because I really want to serve people. And now when I get into any system, any structure, any nation, the first thing I look out for is the problem. No. I mean, you will rarely see me complaining about any structure. Once you know the problem, you will want to find your way there to provide solution. Even when you are yet to hold the title. The little
Yeah.
solution you can provide, and you keep providing it. Some people just need word of acknowledgement. Some people just need this word of encouragement. That is part of solution, especially in this nation. When people are depressed, when people are down, I keep doing it. Right, there was a few days ago, I have an interview, a very strong interview. The following day, well, someone reached out to me for a problem. I was on call with someone for like 2 hours because I was so much interested in solving a problem, attending to the needs of people. I mean, I may not be able to solve national problem, but let me start bit by bit. If one person is L and LD, I mean, LD people brings about LD nation. That's my philosophy.
Yes.
So I am not. So I will keep doing it. Now, what will now motivate me to say, let me take a post? Because if I'm now in position, it will be easier for me to influence many other people. Do you get the motivation now? So because it is what I want to do normally. So that position will now be like a leverage for me to save. And I had a lot of challenges during the campaign election. I don't know if you still ask questions around that, but briefly, if you ask, I will expatiate. I had a lot of challenges. But why didn't I stop? I will have looked back, but because I have a good motive. And despite the challenges I'm facing, I will not stop. And thank God I did president, and we have a groundbreaking record. See, today they still called me last year to come and get the award of outstanding leadership after 3 years of leadership.
Wow.
So we are not doing it because we want to be known. Of course, that is part of the package, but that's not the motivation. When they called me for award of outstanding leadership, I was not even sure. See, today in the school, when before they do an election, the provost will call me. Have you consulted all the contestants? Which of them do you deem fit that can run for this position? It is legacy. And if you do it with the right mindset, you have this legacy without struggling for it, without becoming any, you don't have to be a godfather. I mean, that godfatherism is, they will give you the honor of bringing you to the table every time they have any occasion that have to involve, politics and unionism and, alutarism, if I can say something like that. Yeah.
Oh my God, alutarism. That's another whole word of. Oh my God, it's a whole word of struggle. Okay, let me just go straight to this. You were talking and during and you were saying about your political journey, how you went on it. So you said position wasn't the one that gave you awareness. That was a point I brought out. That was the reason why I asked this question before we start that. When did you get your awareness, and why most people struggle when they get a position and they are not performing very well is because it was that position that gave them the awareness that they are leaders, but you already, it's a lifestyle for you, it's something you are aware of since, so you are already living in, so that has been that makes the work so easier for you. Wow, that makes the work so easier for you. So now I have this beautiful question to ask you, and the question is this: how, as a Christian now, that's the question. As a Christian, there are some ways that politics now is being viewed as a Christian. So there are some ways that when you talk about politics now, there are some people that if you tell them you are a politician, you've already you destroy your self-image in their presence because there is nothing you want to say. So now you are kind of, even as student leader politics, you are that same mindset, not even on a national level now, even as a student leader. I remember our webinar we hosted, the leadership summit we hosted last year, and after the meeting, a lot of student leaders messaged me, thank you for hosting this thing, thank you for hosting. Like I could feel their pain, like, oh, we want something like this, so that we also know that we are doing the work of the Lord. It's not. So I want to ask now that, what can you say to it? What's your words on this? See, because if I declare that I am a politician or I'm going to politics now, then they should not be looking at me like, like this man's already loving the world. So what can you say to that?
Let me answer that question in as simple as possible.
All
Now,
right.
every mindset, every ideology, every belief that we have is shaped by a certain group of people. We don't just see. Many people think most people don't have the mind of their own. The mindset is influenced by something. Probably they see it, or they hear it, or they experience it, or they witness it. Now, this is the mindset too. Then, do you get where I'm going? That means this mindset is shaped by something they have seen, by something they have witnessed, or by something they have experienced. So at times we don't judge them because that is what they've literally grown up seeing in their life. They have seen people playing this game and they have seen that truly it is dirty, and that's why they say politics is a dirty game. Then why can't we change this narrative? If we get there and they see what we are doing, this narrative will change at the long run. So the dicey part is that those of us that we are just trying to navigate into it as a Christian may be the one that we say, okay, we will be at the receiving end of it, but at the long run we will change something. Do you get the gist? So of course it's
yes,
the right
that.
because that's what they have been saying. But that is why we have to penetrate so that our children will not keep saying it is a dirty game. So our children will now keep saying that it is an agenda. It is a kingdom agenda, because that is what we want them to see. So of course, when they say that, we know where their mind, where that thought is coming from. But that is why we have to infiltrate it. But thank God that what we do, at least to balance that for now, is to keep reflecting the life indeed. Of course, when I was serving as SPG president, I was still the Bible study coordinator. You know how funny that can be. You go and teach on Sunday, go back on Monday, and you shout saying Aluta. And a lot of issues I had was, there's no way you will remove social party from unionism. I have social director, and she wants to work too. And they will now play music. They are not even expecting me to shake it. All lies on me. People come and attack me that why am I allowing them to play hip hop in the social gathering? Is it not necessarily want to be hearing? So there is a lot of things going to shift, but we cannot even get there at once. People should understand. They should give grace for the Christians that are going there, and they should understand that. See, and that means they have no right to be complaining if things are not going right too.
Yeah.
Because I mean, people say they want to do something, and the value, they know what they believe, and you are not supporting it. What are you expecting from the other people doing it? Actually, there is no way darkness will bring light. It's not possible. It's not possible.
Yeah.
So it's just about awareness, and of course, let's understand that we have a lot of issues. We have a lot of issues, but it is to the end that we want to change the narrative. We want to model an ideal government. In fact, the scripturally said the government will be upon his shoulder. We want to go back to that age. We want to bring that mindset again, and that's why we go and infiltrate it and reroute things. There will be a lot of challenges, and that's why we have to be rugged. We have to not just rugged. We have to be knowledgeable, and we have to know how to play the game too. I will not lie. They say it is a dirty game, but I don't want to believe it's a dirty game, but it is a game. So Christians should know how to play the game. Yeah, it is a game too. So change the
this is the question. No, we are almost rounding up. So we will leave it to the question I want to ask you also, and we've already initiated with your last words. And is this? Yes, they said it's a dirty game, and yet they said people win election. There's a little bit of rigging. There's a little bit of malpractice. Every of the votes people get is not pure. So yesterday we had a discussion like that with a friend, and we were arguing that he mentioned a particular person, and I was trying to this is what I know about this person. So I believe that yes, it could be true. People in the world, they have their own way of winning election, and as a Christian, as a believer, there should be a way to win your own election, to win the election. So the question now is how can you, with words now, how can you model to us or the way you won your election. That's what the story behind how you won your election. The how do you win your election? Because I believe it's a Christian way. It's a God because that's the principle you hold on to. So any way you have anyhow you have won the election, probably it for sure for me that it's that right way. So how do you won your like what was the process? What was the do you get that? So that's the question.
I've observed how people practice things, especially Christian also get into this
Yeah.
space. See, winning election or campaign, the whole, the whole logic behind, before election and all, it does not just start when you are about to vie for a post. No. It has started long before you even declare your intention. That is the game people don't understand. And I wish people understand is that see, this thing is not about your religion or anything. It's just applying the right logic. See, this life, there is a rule that is binding life generally. And as a Christian, you must know how to win friends and influence people. See, there are people you don't have to cajole. In fact, they will cajole people for you. It has started long ago. It's not just starting now. Now, I want to use a practical example of our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You know, one of the reasons why I like the man because the man know how to play his game. No, for someone to come and say, do you get the gist? It's so sure for him that there is nothing else to do. I have finished this game since 10 years ago. Because you guys just think you want to go and vote now. We have voted this thing 10 years ago. Why? Because I have infiltrated all spaces, major stakeholders, and now the vice president is now coming from the north. See, it is a game, and we have to learn. Now, we don't have to play it dirty. We can play game. We all play game now. You cannot win some game if you don't know the tactics behind it. There are a lot of, I used to play a message with my friends, and at times you will have seen that, wow, this person has won. There is a tactics. So something for me, in fact, there was a point I had a big issue. Why? A lot of religious drama happened in my time, but they wanted to cancel me, rule me out. You know what happened? Students everywhere, they were posting hashtag no Ogungbe, no election, no Ogungbe, no election. I was never posting anything. You get to a point that it's people that will be doing the speaking for you because you have influenced them. You have been solving their problem. Now everybody wants a change. Sincerely, regardless of how hard you think people are, once they see that you have something to, people are, especially in this nation, people are struggling, people are suffering. When they see that this is the guy that can provide now we say Bat is a Muslim, but there are Christians that voted him. So this at times is not even about religious issue because the Christians that voted him, what did they say? They said this guy beats Lagos, and they are looking for someone that can boot Nigeria. So they took away their religious back. So they said this guy boots his faculty. They said this guy, see how he handled when he was a class rep. What have you handled that they can fall back to? So you are not just coming to now. Another thing, some of you just want to do SUG and you are just starting from SUG. No track record, no engagement. See, something happened in my school, right? After I left, they told me that one of the ESCOs wanted to go for the president. This guy had never done anything. No, he will not go for Congress, he will not go for any union activity. And now by the time he sent his declaration, and he still now captioned it with that, let the will of God rule in the land. Oh my God. Immediately I called him, I said, I said, just remove him. Even if you want the will of God to, you will not say it. They will see it in your action. He said, let your light so shine that men may see. It is let the light shine. It will show through what you are doing. So I don't believe in spending enormously to win the election. I don't believe in, I believe in you have been taking responsibility, influencing people long before. And this is what I tell people to look out for. Don't listen to what people are saying during election. Everybody will cajole you. Everybody will say sweet words to you. Look at what the person has been doing before election. Because that is the true identity of that person. In fact, position will not change the person. He will still go after 1, 2, 3 months, he will still go back to his normal self. But look at this person, what the person has been doing long before he came to limelight. You have been observing him in the hostel. Is he selfish with his things? Is he, is he caring? Is he solving problems? Is he accommodating? Those are the attributes of good leaders. And now when you are about to contest or campaign or go for any office, men will rise for you. Of course, money is part of what you spend, but the most instrumental thing that you spend in your election is men. So if you don't have men, if you have not been influencing men, it will be very difficult for you. So you have to learn how to start from where you are before you declare intention. You don't just come out of the blues to declare intention. You have been doing something, take responsibilities. So those are the things that will be speaking for you. To say this, Barack Obama, you could have wondered how he won the heart of people in the United States and even had a black skin. They trusted him that this guy can do it. And his message, he was preaching about change. That is another thing we have to understand. You will learn where the shoe is paining your citizen or your members that want to vote, and that is what you'll be pushing. There is no light in the school. Let them see practical ways that you attended that you can. People want problem solvers. We have been enjoying a lot of things in this country. So when they see that this guy is practical, is logical, intellectual, I used to tell people we have moved from struggling unionism to intellectual unionism. There was a time we used to, it would be when you hear any SUG, you will see bang. Now it is now intellectual unionism. People are getting more aware. So engage in logical things, push out your agenda. You can just say 4-point agenda for this, push it out. Let people say that wow, this guy knows what he's doing. And they will be compelled to vote for you. So you don't have to spend a lot. You don't have to say this is that you will win. But so a lot of times I didn't spend a dime for my election. Now, alright, I want to quickly talk about when I was contesting for the head board. I filled form for chapel prefect, right? I was submitting the form a day before they tore my form. Don't let me speak more on that. The electoral committee that I teach, they tore my form. Said no, you are not going for chapel prefect. You are going for head board. Because I felt like how will I get to this screen SS2 and still become head boy in that same SS2? It's not even SS3. They tore my form. That was the deadline. You have to take it to your parents to submit. They said, no, you don't take it to your parents again. The deadline. They just submitted it like that. And before I got to school the second day, some juniors that had, I entered the toilet. I saw my poster in the toilet. Ogungbe for head boy. I'm like, who does this? So you have why are they vying for me? Because they have seen what I've been doing, taking responsibility, maturity, service. Those are the things you have to spend before you now begin to spend money. And if you have to spend, of course, election now it requires money. People are serving you at times, so we give them refreshment. But before they spend men, expand relationship, value men. You must place importance in the lives of men. And Jesus also said it that if you have any of this around you and you don't feed them when they are hungry, you don't give them water, that means you didn't give me too. So you must value the lives of men. When you value the lives of men, you earn respect that money cannot buy. And that is one of the games you have to learn how to play. Learn how to influence people. Learn how to win friends. Learn how to give yourself to people without even expecting anything in return. Thank you.
Wow. That's a great one. That's a very, very great one. That's a very, very great one. I just wish most of our aspiring leaders hear this, and we are going to push this to them anyway. So I wish they hear this. And this will lead me to probably the second to the last question now. And okay, let me just ask this question: that if you want to pick up one character if you want to relay yourself to a character in a script, in the kind of a leadership character in the scripture, who will you say you are? But mentioned from both Old Testament and New Testament. So if you want to say from the Old Testament.
Thank you. So there was a time I had a major shift in my life in 2023, and why? That was when I conceived the vision of Next Gen, and of course I conceived the vision for 2 years before unleashing it out for the public or to the public. And what did I study? I studied the book of Daniel for 1 year in 2023.
Wow.
I was seeing myself in it. Oh, I have to influence system. I have to influence structure. I have to influence territory. So to me, I will liken myself to Daniel. And of course, people even call me Job. Like they give me a nickname. They call me Joba now. And of course, I love him, and I don't want to be like him. That I can be a Christian in the marketplace, be influencing system, and I don't have to bow to bar. It's the bar that should come and bow to me. So I will introduce my God to them, and it will surpass every other God in the system. Of course, there are gods everywhere. I will not even lie. This is true. There are gods in the world. There are times that when people begin to get into ID politics, they will introduce them to certain things. You have not introduced you to anything because you are not yet making progress. They will call you, come and join this occultic group and all. But there is a God that you must carry, that they will see that even their gods will bow. So I will liken myself to Daniel in Old Testament. If I will talk about New Testament, something Apostle Paul said used to drive me. So I would say in that aspect, I'm not a missionary, but of course we still preach through this platform. But he said, I want to spend and be spent for this assignment. That's what really got me. I want to spend and be spent. Honestly, I want to give myself to service, to serve my nation, to serve my people, to serve my community, to serve everyone around. I just want to serve. As far one of the commitments I make is, as far as I'm here, I will never make life difficult for anybody. I will spend and be spent. So I think for Old Testament, for New Testament, a dimension of Apostle Paul when it comes to service and leadership. He has many dimensions of service and leadership. I will liken myself to that.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So I would love to ask this: what was the toughest decision you ever made as a leader? I've been in a shoe where I need to make decision, and I want to sleep. Then wake up. What will I say? So what was the toughest decision you had to make? What was that's a story now? So, but what was the toughest
Honestly,
decision you ever
that's
made?
the hardest part of leadership. And especially as a Christian, you don't want to make some decision that there's something about politics and, being in position that is, it has a lot of candor. I mean, they will easily, you will make headline news. There is candor in politics. Yeah. And if care is not taken, if you don't think of your decision twice, they will, a lot of things. Now, because there are things that if an average man does it, they will not even condemn or criticize the person. But because you are a Christian, that's when they will not begin to say, and because you're a Christian. But so some of my ideologies, so I believe that nobody is perfect. So if they call me today that somebody make a mistake, I will not condemn the person. I still believe that the best of man is still man. But honestly, if now to think of some of my hardest or toughest decisions, there are many times I've made decisions, but there are times I may want to, suspend one of my cabinet members. I'm a fellowship member. This person is my unit member. I was the Bible study code. It was in Bible study department. Yeah. I wanted to suspend because consistent coming late, consistent late comings for meetings and irresponsibility and always, trying to. I wanted to suspend, but I did 1 or 2 consultations, and at the end of the day, I didn't do it. And she later, we called out to order. Due to I had to bring in some alumni and all, and if I would think of another thing, one of the hardest part of my life, honestly, in this journey so far, was just during my election period. It was so tough that I wanted to step down, and there are a lot of backstory. I wanted to step down, and let me just tell you this: why I didn't later step down, I was just going to chapel that day to just say I want to pray and forget about it. I met 4 people in chapel that were they held hands and they were interceding and they were shouting my name in that prayer. That God, if I step down, this people will kill me. They were like, I don't know how long they have been praying, but they were sweating with this, and I was just going to say my last prayer and say, God, I just leave it. So those were the hardest moments for me. But of course, the hardest part generally in leadership is leading people. People are so stubborn, people are so tough, you cannot please people, and there is different personalities. So you are trying to do this, some people will be pleased with it, some people, so those are the hardest moments in just dealing with people. So dealing with people can be so hard, but you have to learn how to endure, how to understand and see things from people's perspective. When someone behaves this way, come to think of, and be thinking from the perspective of the person. If I was this, why will I be behaving this way? And what can they do to me to make me stop behaving this way? That's what I do. So I will now put myself in the shoe and try to find a common ground to just solve the problem. Because people can spoil things you have even been reading over the years. So the hardest part is dealing with people. Dealing with people comes so hard. And of course, executing tasks, having a project and executing it. But the hardest, like I said, dealing with people. So hard for it.
Wow. Oh, that's great. No, I really want to appreciate all the words you've shared with us. all the words you've shared with us. I can see from your heart, I can see how passionate you are in sharing all this. So I can see how passionate you are in
I
sharing all
think
this.
that I didn't prepare for this session at all.
So
I just
it's your
literally
lifestyle,
it's
you've said
something.
it.
Yeah, it's something I was just like, please wake me up 2 a.m. and let's talk about
Yeah,
leadership.
you said that it's your lifestyle, so it's something. And I will say I would love to have you here again. So I would love to have you here over and over again. So I would love to have you again. And as you are our first you happen to be our first guest on this podcast. So I am really happy that you are. So I will just ask this one last question: that is the highest what is the highest how will I put it now, like the highest position of leadership you see yourself becoming, being the highest position?
Honestly speaking, I will not answer this question rightly, but there was a time I desired to be the president of this nation. But I will say that the vision is beyond that. By the help of
Mhm.
God, I want to build an institution when we will be consulting leaders. I mean, they will come to
That's
us
it.
and they will come for consultation, like Daniel. How government will go and meet him and say, this is the problem we have. How can we solve it?
You'll be the
That's one of
oracle.
the long-term vision of Daniel. Because even left to me, if they come to me today to say they want to give me the president of this nation, I will not take it, because they will blame me before the end of 4 years. I've seen a lot of error
Yeah.
in the system, so the system will make us keep blaming the president. So we have to change the system first, and that's one of the things we are doing. So I believe in our vision in next gen, and of course clip, that we can be influencing people
Yeah.
around us first, because it is at the end it is people that form a nation. So let's raise an institution that will lead to an healthy nation, and let's begin to influence people. So if there's anything I see myself doing, is that we get to a point in next gen. Of course, I'm the team lead, and we are not just influencing Nigeria, we are influencing Africa, we are influencing the world.
Yes.
That even by God, the US government can come and say, let's learn from your ideology. We build ideologies that if any government fall on it, it will bring a drastic turnaround in any nation if they apply whatever regimen we give them. For now, I think that's what I desire, just to be like a Daniel dimension, consulting leaders, raising leaders, and have them in all spheres of power across the globe by the help of God.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I said that was the last question. Then this is just a farewell word. So just say a word to someone who is planning to be, to contest, for any political office, and probably is scared, probably is still doubting he can do it. And what are your words to him or her? What are your words to him or her?
honestly, 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 you don't have to be afraid. I mean, first believe in yourself. Because see, there are a lot of things that we want to discourage you. At times you begin to ask yourself, am I really fit for this position? And see, if you are not defeated inside, you cannot be defeated outside.
Yeah.
Against the law of inertia, law of inertia say objects will stay at will remain at the state of rest unless acted upon by an external force. But
Let's
let
start
it be
first.
otherwise for you. Let internal force be the only factor that can stop you, and that is actually the ideal thing. If you can't stop yourself, nobody else can stop you. You are going to be discouraged a lot. Many people will say some things to you that this guy, do you think can do it? And those are the things you should prepare for. But now that is when you have to enter and prove them wrong. And two, start from where you are. Don't wait until you want to vie for a position. Wherever you are today, when God was speaking to, was it Moses or Abraham? He said, rise from where you are. Yeah,
Where
Abraham.
you are.
From where you are to as far as you can see. So first start from where you are to as far as you can see. Is it departmental leader? If that is all you can see, fine. Is it SCG president? Is it there's something called NANS, if you know NANS? Is it NANS?
Yeah.
Is it council but at least from where you are first to as far as you can see, when I was interested in nursing, I was, having aspiration for WHO, president, chairman. I'm not really interested in health like that. As far as you can see. So you're going to be discouraged.
Yeah.
Please don't be defeated within. If you are not defeated from within, nobody or no voice can weigh you down. And I'm rooting for you, and just know that I can do it. And we need you. We need a lot of young people that will come and infiltrate, that will be rugged. Of course, you will fail. You will fail. Just know that failure is not a destination, it is part of the process. If you don't try, you will not even fail. So fail and go again. Fail and go again. And I'm rooting for, and I'm going to see you at the top. And I'm sure that we are all going to the top. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you,
Now we've come to the end of the section. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Before we go finally, I want to appreciate you and your team. It gladdens my heart to see you doing great things, and I'm so sure that you have not even started. So you have not started, and nations are yet to see what is going to erupt from Clip. And personally, I'm anticipating, and this vision is going to go global and grow very, very large. So please don't give up, don't stop this, don't be discouraged, don't be weighed down. The world is yet to see this type of institution, and we will see it in your time. Thank you to all the team that is supporting, that is serving as Aaron behind the Moses. Thank you so much. At times you can misbehave, you can fuck up, but please believe in the vision. And at the end of everything, we will reap the fruit of this, and God Himself will be proud of us. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I love you all. I love you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Yeah.